Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, please think about liking and maybe even subscribing. I would greatly appreciate that. The PS5 thirst is real. This is the first PlayStation generation that I haven't been there day and date. I usually, have them on pre-order. I usually go out to the store for midnight launches, even though I can't do that anymore. I've never been at the start of a PlayStation generation and not had a PlayStation console this long. Where are all the PlayStation 5s? And I know that there's a shortage and there are some other circumstances that I can't control going on in the world, but we're in July. We're almost at the end of July. We're almost at the end of the summer, and I still can't find a PlayStation 5. Of course, if I want to pay some slob $2,000 for a PlayStation 5, I can do that, or I can go to some sites that pack in useless objects with the PlayStation 5 so that they can make a bit of money too. But if I'm looking for a PlayStation 5, just the PlayStation 5, I can't find it anywhere. Let me tell you, the thirst for this console is based on video games, and I started to think about that. I started to think about the idea of why people purchase video game consoles and how that's seemingly changed. Or maybe it hasn't. Maybe social media has made the desire and the drive to be somebody on social media more important than actually being that child that runs out and buys a console, plays video games like we all have and we all still do. So there's only one reason why I want a video game console, whether or not it's a PlayStation, an Xbox, or a Nintendo. And that's for video games. It's not because it has some chipset inside of it, because I'm not going to buy it and then sit there and stare at it and play nothing and just say, yeah, man, those chips in there, my God, they're so sexy. Those are the sexiest chips ever. The TV's blank, but look at that console. Inside there are these chips that do ray tracing and direct whatever. That's really, really cool. No. I want to buy a box based on what I see it doing. So take a look at Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Now, I know you're going to say this game, it's been out for a while, and then you got Returnal, but they've got two next-generation games out that look phenomenal. Now, Returnal is probably going to be one of those games like Dark Souls or Bloodborne for me, where I get so frustrated I just don't have the time to die over and over and over again. I have a life. I need to do things outside of gaming, but it's an exclusive title. It's a reason to own a system. Ratchet & Clank here in 4K is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this. I don't care what's inside the PlayStation 5 when I look at this. I don't even watch this and think 4K, 60 frames per second. I just say, holy shit, look at what I'm looking at. This looks absolutely incredible. I need to play it. I need a PlayStation. And I've always been that way. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, the original Xbox. The reason why I had to run out and get an original Xbox wasn't Halo. It was Star Wars Obi-Wan, believe it or not. That game looked amazing to me. It looked incredible. So, even with the Xbox 360, you think about games like Gears of War. Of course, I had to run out and get an Xbox 360. I had to play that game. I didn't know anything about what was inside the Xbox 360. I didn't know anything about unified RAM versus split RAM in the PS3 and what that may or may not do for my experience at the beginning of a generation. I didn't care. For instance, the PS3, Uncharted. I'd never seen a game like that before. I've never seen graphics like that before on the screen. I've never seen animation like that or gameplay. I needed that game. There were countless others on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. So when I started to watch this footage again, Ratchet & Clank, because I don't have a PS5 and I consistently look at platformers because they're my favorite genre, I watch this footage and I think, I need a PlayStation 5. Where are the PlayStation 5s? Because if I don't find one soon, I think I'm going to have an aneurysm or something. It's driving me crazy not being able to play this game. So at the end of the day, It's about content. And I started to think about these arguments that people are having now between consoles. Now with portable PCs hitting the market, we're talking about how, resolution, the OLED Switch, the resolution is unacceptable, 720p, 64 gigabytes of storage. Well, you've got a 720p portable PC with 64 gigabytes of storage for $400. What's the file size of most of those third-party big games that utilize ray tracing? Anywhere from 20 to 40 gigabytes. So you're going to be able to store one game at 720p with no OLED, but you got ray tracing. See what I mean? It's not about any of this stuff. It's about content. You're going to have third-party content on the go for PC gamers. Okay. What does that mean for the Switch? OLED? Absolutely nothing, because they've got the content. It's always about that. This is why maybe I'm missing the boat when it comes to, this tech thing, this tech push, this argument about if tech isn't in a box, it's not worth owning, even though you're looking at content that is so much better than content that you've seen in a previous generation. Why would that be discounted over technology? The Switch right now is the weakest system. I mean, it's anemic when you look at it compared to other systems, right? Compare it to a PlayStation base, compare it to an Xbox One S, and it's not even close. But look at games like Breath of the Wild. Look at games like Luigi's Mansion or Mario Odyssey. Look at those games. They're what push people to buy a system. It's the content. It's not the tech inside the box. Yes, it's important, but you really shouldn't have to worry about that as a consumer. You shouldn't be worried about what the company's worried about when they're creating hardware. You should only be worried about the content that you're going to get. Just look at the content. Don't look at the content and think, well, I really like the way that looks. It looks a lot of fun, and graphically, wow, I've never seen anything like that. But before I get excited, I need to know the resolution and the frame rate. I've never done that. Maybe it's a new thing. Maybe I'm missing the boat, but I've never done it. I understand it. I understand how those things impact gameplay in some sense, but I'm still wowed by what I'm looking at. And the reason why I chose this footage is because you're looking at it right now as you watch the video. Have you selected the resolution in the settings for the YouTube video? I don't know. It still looks great, doesn't it? So why do you buy video game consoles like the PlayStation or the Xbox or the Switch? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.